All right, I'm here at my office. There is a LandCruiser 250, and I'm gonna finally broach and finish the conversation of, is this a LandCruiser? Is it worthy of the name? And I've got the final argument that actually will make sense for everybody of why this is not a true LandCruiser. It's just holding the badge. It's a Prado, but this is not a true LandCruiser. All right, let's jump into it. All right, I'll be the first one to admit that that is a great looking vehicle. That's a Toyota. It's a 4x4. It's a truck. It's, you know, the new frame, the TNGA F that they're all sharing. But my argument is this is a Prado. It's not a LandCruiser. That's good looking. The white top, kind of like FJ Cruiser or FJ40 throwback. But that's a four banger, right? 4-cylinder hybrid. Again, well built. It's going to be a new buyer. Some old LandCruiser guys will buy, but mostly 4Runner and other SUV genre people. Now this is a 200 series. This is a legitimate LandCruiser. Holds the badge, but rightfully so. And V8. So I'm not just saying because of the power plant, but this is a LandCruiser. The other one is a Prado. It should say LandCruiser Prado, because did you know the FJ Cruiser, they're going to come out with an FJ Cruiser or an FJ LandCruiser. It's going to be a little petite SUV, kind of like RAV4 size. So here's my theory, here's my reasoning, and it'll put the whole discussion to bed about the LandCruiser 250. So it goes back with the heritage of Toyota LandCruisers. And let me get home so we can look at some other models, because I do have a few LandCruisers, and you'll understand why this is a legitimate LandCruiser. The 300 is a LandCruiser, the 250 is not. Let me get home and we'll wrap it up. All right, I've arrived home. So let's go back to the heritage of LandCruisers, and it's what put Toyota on the map actually. And it is the FJ40. So in the late 50s, they started coming out with it. And then it wasn't until the 60s it really took hold in the US market. Totally reliable, heavy duty, robust. 80 series here. That is a 70 series. So here's my, sorry, it's covered. We have cloudy skies here in Southern California. There we go. Toyota FJ40. Heavy duty, big time. Toyota LandCruiser. Remember that, because that same badge is on the 200 series. And then we have an 80 series behind that. So the FJ40 came out and then soon was replaced by the 70 series. So that's a 70 series under there. You got to subscribe to the channel. I'll put links to a video on this rig and the Green Machine, this one. And if you want a car cover, these car covers work on the 40 series, the 70 series, even though not many of you will have 70 series. This one's an old one. This one's going on 3 years. So California sun beaten down on it. Still good enough, but I think I'm going to retire it and get a new one, because at 140 bucks, you can't go wrong. That's like a $300 one, and it lasted one season. That's coming off. But this one, 3 years, 140 bucks again. Awesome. Hit me up if you want one. That includes shipping. 80 series. So you went 40, then the 60 and the 70. The 70 replaced the 40 series as heavy duty. The 60 was what they call a wagon. The 80 series continued that as a wagon. So here's where it gets interesting. Here's where my argument starts. 80 series. And you also had the 4Runner, right? 4Runner started coming out. So, you know, right before the 80 series. So 1991 to 92, we had an 80. 93, we got the FZJ with the better motor. 94, 95, and guess what? 96, you know who enters the game? Besides the Toyota sombrero? Lexus. Lexus says, hey, let's cash in on this SUV market. Let's make it a luxurious truck. We already got one right here. Let's just make nicer leather. We'll put lower cladding here, maybe some better soundproofing, better stereo system, if I didn't say that already, and softer leather. and it's going to be the LX450. So you had the 80 and the LX450. Then you got the 100 series in 1998, the V8. And guess what? Lexus said, we got a winner. We sold so many LXs, I think like 20 some odd thousand, like 10,000 a year or more. So they came out with the LX470, which was the 100 series, right? Still top of the line, built in Japan, all of that. And LX470 was the Lexus badge of the 100. Then the 200 comes out. 200, and yes, I know, I'm about to say it, the LX570. I had one. I just sold it last year. I had it from 2008 and on. I had a 2008 Land Cruiser. Both Land Cruisers in my eyes, but you know, the LX is just the more plush one. And during that time, think about it, during the 4Runner, they said, hey, this LX thing worked out. Let's come out with a GX. So they had a GX460, which was basically a 4Runner in the US, and a Prado in Europe and other markets. Then the GX470, then the GX, you know, again, they always had a comparable GX to whatever the 4Runner was, and the Prado in Europe. Europe doesn't have a 4Runner. It's a Prado, right? So now to complicate things, they stopped selling Land Cruisers in the US. The 300 series in 2022 did not come here to the US, and the last model of the 200 was in 2021. The 300 series is the next Land Cruiser in line after the 200. And in the US, we did get the LX600, right? So we went from the LX570 to the LX600 is the same as a 300 series. We just didn't get it. Now, because of pricing and market and you know, the team over at Toyota said, let's make a cheaper, more affordable, entry level, 60 grand Land Cruiser. So they came out with the LC250. But wait a minute, there's already the top of the line. You know, my argument is Land Cruisers are top of the line, the very best of what Toyota has to offer as far as a heavy duty SUV, right? Get you in and out of the most craziest places in the world, right? Doesn't this look like United Nations? All the white Land Cruisers, you know, all over the world. That's what the United Nations use. So the 250 comes out. Well, guess what? That's a GX550. But wait a minute, let's back up. Let's back up to the LX470 was a Land Cruiser. The GX470, a 4Runner. So the 4Runner Lexus luxurious line is a GX. The Land Cruiser luxurious line is an LX. Well, then how come the Land Cruiser 250 is also sharing the same body, same frame as well, as all the SUVs in the Toyota and Lexus lineups? But why is a Land Cruiser 250 also a GX550? It just crossed over to what 4Runners would share. 4Runners is a GX, Land Cruisers are LX. The Land Cruiser 250 is now a GX550. It ain't no Land Cruiser, it's a Prado. Just, they don't have a Land Cruiser badge anymore in the US as far as the 300 series. So guess what? They'll say, as far as Americans are concerned, it's going to be the 250. So it's a nice truck. It's cool. I like it. It's got good looks, the 250, but it ain't no top of the line, what Toyota has to offer, flagship Land Cruiser. The 300 is. We just don't get it here. But, you know, you can get it under the Lexus badge, the LX600. But I think the kind of the feel, the vibe is Land Cruiser is just the brand name. LX, you know, some people like, no, I got to get a Land Cruiser, not going to get the LX, even though it's the same thing. It's just fancied up, right? So comment below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? But I mean, don't matter what you say, GX550 shares the same body as the LC250. That means the LC250 is no longer a Land Cruiser. It's the 300, folks, because that's the LX600. They share the same styling, the same frame, all that. So comment below. Sorry, if you're getting an LC250, still a great car. Don't get me wrong. Pretty cool. Pretty damn cool. I guess you can go around in the States saying you're driving a Land Cruiser, but that's just in name only that they slap on the back, not a true top of the line, the best of what Toyota has to offer. And in my book, I think after seeing the styling, that GX550 is pretty cool. If I was in the market for a Land Cruiser 250, I'd have to go with the GX for one main reason, and it's the power plant. It's not a four-banger hybrid. It is a full-fledged, V6 twin turbo. I think for that reason alone, I'd want that type of power. And it's good looking with the solid backlight, a la Porsche style, and the aggressive front looks pretty damn cool. So both look great. LC250 looks great. The GX550 look great, both for a GX model and for a Prado model. They're beautiful. So pick which one you want, but I think for power plant alone, I'd have to go for the GX550. All right, thanks for tuning in. Discuss amongst yourselves, comment if you agree, disagree again. LC250, my friends, that's a Prado, no matter how you cut it. All right, subscribe, check out other videos. I have a great video of my buddy's FJ40, which won People's Choice Award at a Toyota event, Yoda Nights, here in Southern California. And I will share with you, because I detailed it for my friend, I will share with you all the products I used that helped him not only win, but he beat my Land Cruiser for People's Choice. And I think it was just by a couple votes, but that's all right. He's got a really cool rig. Wait till you see it. Wait till you see the custom color. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Happy trails. And, don't be too bashful if you get yourself, or ashamed if you get an LC250. It's better than anything else out there in that model range. All right. Or do like I did and get yourself a used last of the V8's 200 series. All right. Happy trails. Thanks for tuning in.